Joining me live right now is Natalie Dale with GDOT. And Natalie, thanks for getting up with us. We appreciate it. Give us an overview about what you're seeing right now. Set the table for us as the expectation and where you guys stand.
Well, certainly we have been busy. Our crews, like you said, 2,000 employees of GDOT have been called into service for this activation. So they've been working for the past 48 hours, really getting brine down on all areas expected to be impacted by the storm system. And to put that into context, we have about 20,000 lane miles that could be impacted. So if you haven't seen a plow in a second, there are thousands of lane miles that our crews are out there treating and plowing and retreating. So a big lift for them, especially considering that wind that we keep talking about. That is going to hinder as the day moves on our crews from doing some things, because that becomes highly dangerous situations for our crews. So again, y'all said it, we'll say it again. The best thing to do for our crews right now is to stay off the road for our safety as well as for your safety.
The evolution of GDOT over the last decade, I think, is something interesting to see. Having sat here at this television station, and over the years we have talked about these storms, and then GDOT would react to it. It's a different day now. Government is much more responsive than it was, 10 years ago, and that you guys have been preparing for days. There really is, to use a sporting analogy here, a game plan to deal with these elements.
Absolutely. We stay in a planning posture. We always have our eyes on these situations as they're moving across toward us. So this is something that we have been planning and looking at. Well, for the past 10 years, we've been evolving our plan really, or since 2014. But for this specific situation, we've been watching this all week. We've been working for days in advance of this storm. We've put down about 1.6 million gallons of brine so far, and we're about to run out another route of that. To put that into context, in 2014, we only had 70,000 gallons of brine statewide. We've already laid 1.6 million gallons of brine, and that is just the tip of the iceberg, no pun intended, but that's just the beginning of what we do as an agency, watching those road weather information sensors that y'all have referenced as well. So whether it's our crews, our technology, or our materials, we certainly have grown, and you're seeing that plan being put into place now.
Yeah, well, we live in fear of those icebergs that you were talking about metaphorically. But tell me where you are right now, and I see the screens over your shoulder. Do you have a bunch of officials that are sort of gathered watching this and then making decisions saying, well, look, this area is getting more snow than this one over here. Why don't we take our resources this way? How does that work?
Exactly. So I'm at the State Operations Center right now. So in Metro Atlanta, and this is where sort of all of the biggest minds leadership comes to watch, whether it's the road temps, whether it's monitoring our crews. We're next door to GMA, and so we have that relationship in these emergency situations that's vital for us to be able to communicate, to make that real-time decision. And so a lot of real-time decisions on that plan being made here, but our crews are the ones out on the road in those inclement weather conditions. They're really the ones in some of those dangerous situations as these winds pick up, as this storm begins to evolve. And so making good plans here to keep them safe, and to, like you said, to make sure that they're where they need to be, that we're putting our crews in the most impacted areas of the state. So watching that here to make those very important decisions about where we're sending those crews and how they're treating the roads.
Where are conditions toughest right now? What area is of most concern right now?
Well, exactly where we expected is that northeast corner, that 85 corridor, moving up into those Georgia mountain counties. And fortunately, the people who live and work up in those Georgia mountain counties, they're used to this. They typically always get this first winter snap when we see these larger storms, but that doesn't make it any easier on our crews. And so we've got a lot of our plow trucks out, certainly plowing in those areas, dropping different materials. We still have that rain situation here in Metro, so we're getting more and more layers of brine down. We want to increase that salinity on the road, which will give us a step ahead of that ice getting onto the road. So some of the heavy lifting we're doing right now is up in that northeast area, which is exactly what meteorologists said would happen.
All right, Natalie Dale, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. I'm sure we'll be talking
Absolutely.
to you very, very soon. Thanks again.
Yeah.